Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. Guys, in this video today, I'm going to tell you one of the most important things when it comes to prepping, when it comes to life, period, is that you better be real careful in the partner that you choose to walk this life out with. Now, I know I've made some videos in the past about choosing the right woman, divorce, and other stuff, but I'm going to tell you something today. Today went about verbatim what I told my wife would happen the other day when I was talking to her about what was coming up this week, is that my buddy had a court date today. I'm not going to mention names. I'm just going to give you an example of a situation that has happened to so many men. Is I told my wife, I said, my buddy's going to win a slam dunk in court this week. I said, it's going to go down. And I left the job site the other day. I loaded up my tools after another successful install for a happy customer. I drove myself home, cleaned up, got on my suit, and went to court this morning. Just got back home. And my buddy won by a slam freaking dunk. Ladies, I want to speak to you first real quick because I don't want this video to sound like I'm bashing one party or the other. I just want you to understand what I've seen, I cannot unsee. When it comes to getting married, ladies, I'm going to tell you, the man better really love y'all. You better really know what you want, because if you get with the wrong man, he will absolutely wreck your life just like a woman can wreck a man's. And that's really all I have to say about it, because if you actually choose a man that loves y'all and works hard, as long as you can find a way to find your own inner happiness and not constantly expect him to make you happy, you'll have a good life. And that's really it. That's really all it takes. I know it sounds too simple, but it's true. But when it comes to us men, I'm going to tell you, this is a laundry list that you really need to be concerned about today, because I'm going to tell you real quick, seriously, like right here, everybody comes up on my channel and I know they're like, yeah, it's going to be prepping stuff like the past. And you know what? I really need to get back to that. I've got a video after this one that I'm about finished editing that is how to do a top of pole mount photovoltaic install. And I'm taking you step by step like I used to do all those instructional videos. But you can have high dollar night vision. You can have all the prep gear in the world, but you choose the wrong partner, you will lose it all. Take it from me. I've lost my home before. I've lost the fellowship with my child for a while. I've lost part of my business. The list of losses just goes and goes and goes. And if you hitch up with the wrong person, they might not destroy your life right now, but they might destroy your life 10, 20 years down the road after you've invested your heart, soul, mind, and body and everything you have to give into it. Plus take your children away, which is your seed. I want to break this down for you and tell you that I have been to court. I have been in the courtroom various times in my life, from everything from business, like getting licensing to, getting approval for property stuff, you name it. Just lots of different things. And I've seen a lot of stuff go on. I've seen it from casual things to circus act like Judge Judy 2.0 today. And if you marry the wrong person, they will take you for a ride, and sometimes it can cost you your life because of all the insanity. You know, I watched in the instance today where my buddy had went for months without seeing his children, almost lost property, money, damage to his business. I've seen infidelity, just all sorts of insanity. The stuff, children taken away, stuff that Amber Alerts are made out of. Okay, this is stuff that Amber Alerts are made of. And I said, this is not going to end well for her, because she has made an absolute mess of things. Furthermore, not even showing up to court. And I'm not trying to air at my buddy's business, because I ain't even going to mention who this is, and nobody really needs to know. I'm just using this as an example today because it was the icing on the cake, because I've seen this happen to so many men, is that they have to go through all the struggle, all the suffering, all this financial loss to finally reclaim what is theirs. And I watched him get a huge win today. The other lawyer just made an absolute disaster of themselves, trying to present against the factual evidence that was just just destructive to him. And it was great. I'd have paid tickets to be in there. It was that good. But I watched and I seen so many people come up before his case that they were finalizing divorces. And, I thought to myself, at one point, those people actually loved one another. At one point, those people that are here tearing each other apart actually loved one another. And, love, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that is going to be hard for a lot of you to take in today, but love sometimes is not enough. Now, if my wife decided tomorrow to leave me, bye. I'm not leaving this house. I'm not leaving my inheritance. I'm not leaving my land again. I'm not losing nothing else. You know, everybody that gets married, you should absolutely have a prenup. You should absolutely have an agreement ahead of time, because whatever yours is yours, whatever's mine is mine. If I become the next Jeff Bezos during our marriage, I don't owe you nothing, okay? You came along for the ride. And the thing is I think a lot of people think when you get lost in love that when you get married, all will be well. There will be struggles, there will be trials, there will be health problems, there'll be financial problems, there'll be wins and loses. You're going to get some W's on the board, you're going to get some L's on the board. And gentlemen, we live in a society now where, I hate to say this, but even some men are like this too, is that people reserve the, apologize, somebody always has to call in the middle of me making a video. It never rings until I'm making a video anymore. But people reserve the right to change their mind at any given time. Nowadays, this is not where you get married and it lasts 50 years like my mom and dad's marriage. You know, like this is, we live in a different time. And lawlessness and self-centeredness. And, you know, women will just absolutely even throw their own children under the bus for their own selfishness. I mean, I've seen it so many times. And then when they've extorted the man for all the money they can get, then when they're of age, then they throw them children back off on the man, like, well, here, you deal with it. I don't know what to do. Well, probably because you threw the father out of the home. But I have seen multitudes of cases where that, you know, you get long down the road past the investment stage, and then people reserve the right to change their mind and leave. And that's why I say all the time, I'll even tell it to my wife, say, I love you. And I'm like, I love you. And you love me today. Because if we're really honest with one another, if we aren't trying to do the right by the commandments, when we say we love y'all today. Tomorrow, you might go back into sin. So, you know, I think we should be honest with ourselves in that aspect too. But, you know, when you go to the courthouse and you sit there and you see these cases, one after another, and like I said, I've been in court a time or two in my life, and the stuff I've seen just in my short time of life too. And goes back to where I've seen Coach Greg Adams talk about before, where he's been in court, I don't know, I think over 100 times now probably. And just seeing these cases, all these situations. And ladies and gentlemen, I think the biggest problem is that people look for the other person to create their happiness for them. You should be healthy mentally and happy before you enter into a marriage, because it is not my wife's responsibility to make me happy. It's my responsibility. And it's her responsibility to make herself happy. And I don't mean run into Chad and Tyrone's arms to be happy either. That's not what I'm talking about. I think most people's marriages are falling apart today because, and failing is because that people don't love y'all. They don't love themselves. And when you have those two missing, you are going to fail at some point, regardless how hard you try to please people. And at the end of the day, you have got to take care of number one. Because I'm going to tell you, in the end, if you don't plan for the end from the beginning, you will be sitting in the courtroom just like I was today, watching these events unfold. And, you know, people are like, well, if you just had more love, it would last. Or, you know, if you'd went to counsel and you'd done X, Y, and Z. Ladies and gentlemen, many, many divorces end with the woman filing for divorce, irreconcilable differences, infidelity, when it turns out she was actually the first one to be infidelitous. You know, and I could go on. And this is not a video to bash women. This is a video expressly to warn people that before you marry up, think about the end long before the beginning of your relationship. Because right now, for example, if I didn't have my wife in my life, I used to think women was the grandest thing on earth. Aside from adventure, probably. And nowadays, I could look at 1 out of 100, and I might be like, I might risk it dating that woman and making a relationship out of it. Then again, even that one, after I start going down my laundry list, I'm like, did you take the jab and become a Nephilim now? Did you do drugs? Have you been with multiple partners? Do you love y'all? I could just start whittling this list down, and I would eliminate 90% possible partners out of my life anyway. And I tell you, and anybody that goes to get married should be forced, and I said forced, to go and sit through a 1-hour segment of divorce court and really consider. You know, people say they need to go to counseling. I agree. Just not sit with your pastor counseling for a few minutes, feel good speech. No, come on, let me take you by the hand down to the courthouse and I'll show you some real fireworks. It will really sober you up from that love bug and make you think about the realities of if things go sideways. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, things go sideways more than they go right nowadays. So I really hope that you consider carefully about who you make as your partner in life, because you could end up going through the struggle that I did. You could end up going through the struggle that my buddy did today, and then finally got his day in court and a victory, and his children back in his life. You can really mess things up if you are not careful in picking your partner. And all that prepping you did, all that preparation of a piece of land, everything you done can be all in vain if you don't choose wisely. So guys, I'm going to get out here and finish this intro and outro segment to the off-grid array video that I've done, so that you can see some prepping content on here, aside from just me doing these things that I do, these videos talking about live stuff. And I know a lot of people come on here and want to see prep stuff too, aside from talking about the Bible and things as well. So we're going to get that. That'll be the next video after this one up, because I'm about finished with it as well. But guys, be careful out there whom you bring into your life, because it can absolutely be destructive. And a lot of scars that people have on their heart were more from the people that were supposedly loved them, and family and friends, than your enemies. So guys, always till we see you again here, 7 Trumpets Prayer Channel. Hope Most High Yah Baruch and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends. In Yahushua name.